Recording. So, good morning. Scotch clearly is going to help out this morning. So I am recording this one. It's been it's been at least a week since I've done a new recording. If you're one of the people that likes to do this on Facebook, then you'll have at least this practice, and this practice is going to be a little bit different. Or starting standing. So go ahead and find a comfortable place to stand. I'm just going to turn to face you, but you're more than welcome to start towards the back of your mat as we're going to be kind of diving forward and back. And again, take this time and opportunity. If you know that you're feeling a little bit unsteady and you have a wall that you'd like to use as we do a little bit of our balance work, then I would encourage you pop off of your mat, come to the wall. So those will be the tools that we're using right away. We're also going to use our straps. So if you have your strap and blocks, those are going to be useful, but of course you can make do with whatever's around or just skip it, lots of modifications. All right, so here we go, starting. Take the feet a little bit wider than usual, so you feel really nice and balanced and steady. And you can shift your weight forward and back, left and right. Come up on the tiptoes, rock back and forth. And then bring the arms down to either side. And you're just gonna roll the shoulders down and away. And just take a peek down at your feet. And just notice if you naturally have one foot that comes more forward than the other. Maybe step so that your feet are about in one line. You put a little bounce in the knees as well as we roll through our shoulders. Nice big shoulder rolls. We're going to get into the spine here pretty quickly, but let's just start with these shoulder rolls, trying to get the shoulders to touch the tips of the earlobes. And you can see that I've got lots of movement happening in my arms, so I'm not just shrugging the shoulders, but really moving through the whole joint. We're trying to find as much mobility as we can this morning. Switch directions. And of course, our movements look different every time we practice them, just depending on what we've been doing, or also kind of the emotions that have been flowing through our bodies as well. And like everyone, I would suspect the majority of the folks right now, even across the entire world, a little bit of anxiety happening and some excitement. So let's go ahead and we'll start with the shoulders, trying to get those emotions to flow out through the fingertips. So the hands are nice and loose. I know we're doing this a little bit longer than some of us would like to, just to tap into where we're doing this. We're starting to find tension or some feedback. And then go ahead and just let the arms fall down. You can wiggle and shake. And we'll draw some circles at the nose. The familiar movements, we're just doing them standing. And if you're hearing any of the really big creakety crunchities, then just make the circle with your nose a little bit smaller. If you feel dizzy, go a little bit slower. And then switch directions. And now that we've been standing here for a couple of moments, we'll let the chin drop to the chest, and we're going to pay attention to the feet. Become aware if there's any tension, if you're gripping with those toes like claws. See if you can lift the toes up and settle them back down. Maybe shift your weight forward and back again. Notice if you start to clench in the glutes, really start to squeeze the legs together, maybe bring a little bit of bounce. And then conversely, if you feel really floppy, see if you can press down into the ground and lift up through the spine. Just take the hands to the heart and pause for a moment, close the eyes, and start to tap into your quality of breath right now. Following the inhales and exhales, just notice if there's a little bit of a stutter. You're kind of skipping on the inhale, you know, that little hiccupy. See if you can slow down or speed up so that your inhales and exhales are becoming a little bit more smooth. And then start to inhale and exhale a little bit more deeply. And at the end of class, we're going to do a full body relaxation. So right now, just finding where you're at this morning in terms of tension in the breath and the body. We'll start to move through some of that, and then at the end, complete relaxation. Most of you should be facing towards the long edge of your mat. If you're not, if you'd been facing me or in the short edge, turn so that you've got enough space here. And we're going to soften through the knees. And on an inhale, sweep the arms up. And you won't be able to see my arms all the way, but I'm just sweeping my arms up. And then softening through the knees as I tuck my chin and roll down. So I'm rolling all the way into a knee bent forward fold. Take a breath here, arms nice and loose, so that maybe you even have pressure from the chest onto the thighs, or getting some space on the back. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone and roll up. Reach the arms above the head. So if you're someone who's starting to have some degradation in the spine, you'll want to do this instead of that rolling. See if you can just soften the knees and come forward with a flat back. We're going to exhale, tuck the chin, roll down. Take a breath at the bottom. And then inhale, roll up. And like you're placing a ball above the head and then a ball down on the ground. Chin tucks, roll down. We'll inhale and exhale at the bottom. And inhale. Filling the body as you inhale, roll up. Last one like this. Remember, there's a little bit of softness to the knees. Full breath. And then roll up. This time we're going to roll down. And then slide the hands up the fronts of the legs. Take the thumbs and press the hips back. So we're finding a flat back. Reach to the crown of the head. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone. Slide the hands down the fronts of the legs and fold. Breath at the bottom. Inhale. Roll to the halfway. Press the hips back. Reach to the crown of the head. And roll down. So sliding the hands up and down the legs. You could choose to slide the hands up the backs of the legs as you press back into your halfway lift, flat back, and then tuck and roll down. So if you're not quite making it and you have a block, use the block to bring the earth up to you. We'll inhale halfway. Exhale, full. Starting to warm the spine up one last time before we add on. Halfway. Exhale down. Okay, this time we're going to inhale halfway. Press back. And then reach the arms out in front. And then like you're diving down into a nice cool blue pool, We're going to curl down and roll down. Soften the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And then begin to cat the back. So we're going to press the hands to the thighs, press the thighs back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Bring the arms together and dive. Inhale, slide the hands up, lift the sits bones up and back, squeeze, and then exhale, dive. If you'd like to, you can go a little bit more quickly. Lift, tuck and dive. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and dive. Just maybe take 1 or 2 more rounds. And then we'll end in our forward fold. Shift your weight left and right. And then we'll roll back up to stand. So that may already, for me, I have quite a bit of tension happening right in the middle of my back. And that was a little bit of work, but a little bit of strength, but also getting some movement there. So we're going to take the feet wide again. And this time we're going to reach the arms up and capture the left elbow. So we're hooking the hand over the elbow. And we're going to press into the floor and come up and off to your right. If that's not quite accessible, you could hold on to opposite elbow, whatever's accessible this morning. So we're coming off to one side. It doesn't really matter what side. It's almost like you're drawing that elbow up. And then we'll come back to center and just switch sides. So lifting up through the side waist and pouring off away from the top elbow that you're holding on to. One more time, each side, center, switch, off to the side. Maybe a little bit more as you press the hips off. Center, switch, second side. Center, release the arms down. So have a little bit of play in the knees. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up and look up, and then exhale, come forward, soft knees, and sweep the arms up behind you and straighten the leg. So we'll inhale up and exhale out through the mouth, sweep the arms up. Again, you're just going at a pace that's right for you. You may enjoy this slower inhale and exhale and sweep, or you might want to go a little bit more quickly. Heavy feet, the feet stay as they are. You're swinging. Two or three more. Last one, wherever you are. And inhale back up. Let the arms come down. And just take a moment to shake out. Shake the legs. We're going to move to our balance here. Wherever you are. And that nice wider stance. And step one foot back. So you're going to step on top of the toes. Like you're pointing the foot behind you. Draw some circles with the heel in one direction. So we're attempting to roll over the top of the toes. switch directions. So just a little bit of a warm up for balance. Switch sides, step the second foot back. Draw some circles with the heel. This is where a wall might come in handy. Switch directions. And plant both feet. So we're going to reach the arms out in front. Bend the elbows like little robots. And then step across the body. So we're going to tap across the body and then step behind you. Step, crunch, and tap across the body and step back. So you could have that opposite hand on the hip if that's better, or keep the robo arm. Tap behind you and reach up. We're staying with the one side. I don't know if you can hear the dog downstairs. Being a little whiny. Couple more. And the standing leg is really firmly pressing into the ground so that we're maintaining a nice tall spine. And last one, if you haven't already finished, bring the hands down. Shake out the legs. And we'll start on the second side. Robo arms. And we're tap. And then extend behind you and reach. Like I said, you want us to be about balance. So if you're feeling a little wobbly, maybe don't step back so far. Take the hand to the hip or use the wall. One or two more. And then bring both feet down again. We're just going to shake out. So this next one, some of you have done this with me before. We're going to come high on the tiptoes or the balls of the feet. So you could just start here by raising and lowering the heels. And as you're raising and lowering the heels, we're squeezing the inner thighs and the inner arches of the feet towards one another for balance. And my recommendation would be not to do what I'm doing, which is looking at my own feet and scream, but look off to a side where it's not moving. So you can keep your gaze nice and steady and just roll and squeeze up. Keep going. And if you can, when you rock back, you're lifting all 10 toes. So we're really getting that full flexation in the feet and really strengthening the ankles. Two more. And then come on down. And again, just shake the legs out. So we're just going to go one more iteration of this, where we're going to add the balance in with the lifting up. So you'll start with the feet wide and the knees bent. Again, if you need the wall, go close to the wall, but we're going to start in our chair pose. So sit back, reach the hips back, as if you had your thumbs pressing the hips. So rather than squeezing the chest forward like we were practicing, we just want to flat back, reach the tailbone down, reach the arms up. From here, we're going to lift and press to stand. Keep pressing. Squeeze those inner thighs as you lift the heels. And then we're going to twist to one side, separating the arms. Maybe look behind you. Keep squeezing those inner thighs, raise the arms above the head, twist to your second side. And then come up. Soften the heels back and sit back into your chair pose. You could let the arms come down for a little bit of a break. This is one of those practices that can feel really frustrating for everyone, just depending on the day. So maybe just take 2 or 3 more, or you'll go a little bit more quickly. Just be aware that if you're speeding up, that it's not just because you want to get through this, because you're frustrated, but maybe because you're finding enough steadiness here that you can, see, that you can do these motions efficiently and strongly, and that's why you're speeding up. Okay, so I'm going to go through it one more time. We're going to sit back, chair pose, rock forward, squeeze those inner thighs together as you reach up, twist, knee, lift, twist, lift, and sit back. So if you've already done maybe 10, then you're good to go. But we'll all do maybe 2 more rounds, and then we'll be done with our standing, balancing, and move to the floor. Okay, after this last round, sit back, the arms come down, shake yourself out, and then find your best way to come to the ground. Now, in one of the classes before, we'd practiced moving to the ground with a flat spine. So you can use all of these, here, out of the light. We can use all of this that we just worked on to transition to the floor if you're not already there. You'd reach the arms above the head, soften the knees, come forward, stay with that long spine as you drop the hands down and walk out and tap the knees down. So if you were following that, the spine would have been nice and flat. Do you want me to do it again? Sure. Okay. So if you're not already a grounder, if you'd like to practice, starting at the back of the mat, going to raise the arms above the head, sit back like you're in your chair pose, begin to tip forward like we're diving, except keep the flat back. Once the hands make it towards the ground, and that may be different stage for all of us, we'll walk the hands down, and then the knees come to the floor. So at this point, most of us should be on the floor. If you want to practice one more time, go ahead as the rest of us set up for our all fours. Go ahead and take the knees wide, and we'll roll through the spine. Inhale, lift the sits bones, press the ground away as you squeeze the shoulder blades together for cow. And then exhale, articulate through the tailbone as you roll and press away, tucking the chin into cat. Inhaling and exhaling at your own speed. Just like when we were standing and we were squeezing the inner arches and the inner thighs and the inner legs together, start to practice that here as well, so that we're actively drawing the inner seams of the legs together. That might change where you choose to place the knees. So if you have a tendency to really roll out to the side, then you might want to bring the knees a little bit closer. If you have a tendency to bring the inner thighs almost to touch, maybe take the legs a little bit wider so that you're feeling that inner seams of the legs squeezing towards one another. Practicing our cat-cow one more round. And then go ahead and curl the toes under. And we're just going to press the hips back towards the heels a couple of times. Again, if your heels have a tendency to flop out, mine do, then we're thinking about drawing those inner arches of the feet together. Just pressing back, should feel pretty good on the low back. And then we'll shift our weight forward, and now we'll step the right foot back and shift your weight forward and back, stretching out the back of the right leg. We're gonna flip those left toes over so you're pushing into the left foot to raise the right leg. And then heel to the hip, we're gonna slide the left fingertips out. So we're going across the body again and make big circles with the knee in one direction. Switch directions. And then kick your right leg out and press into the floor with the top of the left foot and the right hand. So we're in our bird dog here. Big inhale and then exhale. Just like we did earlier, we're tapping elbow to knee across the body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, extend. Two more. Last one. Place the left hand down, right knee down. Just take a minute to sway left and right, releasing the low back. Second side. Step the left foot back, shift your weight. Make sure you have enough room for the hip, so maybe that right knee slides out a little bit wider. And then we'll slide the right fingertips out as you lift the left heel, flexing the foot, big circles. Switch directions. Kick the left foot out. Make sure we're pressing the earth away with the top of the right foot and the left hand. Reach and compress. Reach and compress. Now is a great opportunity to switch that breath. So we're going to inhale, round the back, touch the elbow to the knee, and then exhale, extend. Many of us, this will feel a little weird. So we're just encouraging a little bit different pattern of breath. One more. Hands down, knees down. Sway the hips. And then we'll slide the knees back and shift your weight forward so you're all the way onto the stomach. Take the legs wide. Maybe a little pillow for the forehead. Drop the head down and look left and right. We're going to bend both knees so both heels are towards the hips and draw big circles. Switch directions. Should feel pretty good on the sacrum. And then we'll let the legs drop down. Take the hands wide. We've done this before. Fingertips are facing internally. We're going to push into the tops of the feet. And inhale, press the ground away to lift the chest. And exhale, come down. We want to keep broad across the collarbones. This should feel like there's enough space that you can look left and right comfortably. Elbows are coming out, a little bit of buoyancy underneath the armpits. One or two more. Remember, we're only coming up so high that you feel steady and stable and that there's no compression in the low back. And then we'll tuck the elbows as you come down I'm gonna slide the arms out like you're flying. And then let the head come down. On your next inhale, you're gonna slide the left hand back. Keep that right hand where it is. The left hand back. And you're gonna press into the left hand and look up and over your left shoulder for your left heel. So my right arm is on the ground, I'm pressing, looking up, and then I'm gonna come down back, slide that left arm back down. You could be doing this with the right hand, but just remember, we're only moving through one side of the body. So if you're on your side and you're looking towards me and it's the right, that's fine. You'll just switch sides in a moment. Press, look behind you. Again, shouldn't be any pinching, pulling, or pain. Just trying to get some space. And after you've done another one or two, you'll just switch sides. Going nice and slowly so that you can keep the motion on the one side of the body. That opposite arm is really planted. The hips are planted. And after this last one, we'll go ahead and rest. You could wiggle the tailbone, you could bend the knees and windshield wiper, make circles. And then we'll slide the hands to either side of the sideways, curl the toes under, maybe move the inner thighs or the legs towards one another as you push the ground away and reach the hips back. So in our little modified child's pose here, reaching the hips and the fingertips. We're going to do this a few more times. We're going to inhale, come forward, and exhale, release to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms out in front, flip the feet over, lift the chest, and then exhale, slide the hands back, curl the toes under, and press the hips up and back. So we're moving with breath. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chest to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms out in front. Push the ground away with the tops of the feet and the palms to lift the chest. And exhale, slide, curl the toes under, press the hips back. Two more like that. Inhale, forward. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, press the earth away to find your back bend. Exhale, push back. Last one. And back. So we'll walk the knees forward and swing the legs around. Plant the feet, and we're going to roll along the spine. So you're lifting up. Let's plant the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Should feel the sits bones pressing into the ground. We want to attempt to keep the legs and feet on the floor. As we inhale, kind of like you're putting something on a shelf a little bit too far in front of you. We're going to inhale, lift, and then exhale, start to curl the tailbone under. Push the ground away, use the inner thighs as you roll, 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 roll down. And then like you're placing something on the floor above your head. Inhale and exhale. Push away as you lift up. If your feet come up, that's fine. If you need to help yourself up a couple of times, that's fine as well. Get back to the first position where we're lifting. Tuck and roll down. Reach the arms above the head. Remember, press into the floor. Those inner legs are really going to help you here as you come on up. 3 more. Lift. Remember that extension. We want to keep the extension in the arms. So the body's ability to extend and lift. And then come on up. Again, the more that you reach through the arms, the easier, less difficult, whatever this is. Okay. 1 or 2 more. Remember, if you're going more quickly, that it's not just because you want to get through it, but because you've really found an efficient use of the body. And after this last one, you're going to just go ahead and roll all the way down. And let the arms come down and let the knees windshield wiper back and forth. So here you should have enough space that you could roll off to this side. So for me, I'm a little bit close to the wall, so I'm going to move my blockies out of the way. Well, my allergies are really, I didn't think I had allergies until this spring. And I'm just like producing. Okay. So once both knees are off to one side, maybe it's your right, maybe it's your left, it doesn't really matter. You're going to continue to roll off onto that side and then bring the underarm underneath so you're like this hanging out at the beach pose. Go ahead and take a moment to get there. You should be able to see that the legs are separated. And it's kind of hanging out, letting the side waist drop down and maybe feeling a little bit of stretch on this top hip. If the lower knee is coming up, that's okay. We really want to roll all the weight to that side and then let the side waist drop down. And then let the head drop down. So you could stay here or take that lower foot and place it on top of this top side just to encourage some more space. You could test that out. Maybe it feels better to have it on there. Maybe it feels better to have it legs separated. But we're hoping to get a stretch in the hip here. This is going to turn into reclined figure 4 in just a moment. But we'll start here and then take that lower arm. We're going to slide it out. So we're all the way on the floor. Take this top arm. You're going to make a big half moon as you roll onto your back into dog. Here we are in our figure 4. That was fun, right? We're going to do it again. So you're going to take that top arm and roll to the side. Press the ground away and lift yourself up. Take the arm back out and roll. So this might be what feels best for your hips this morning, a little bit of dynamic movement. Or you're going to keep rolling all the way to a seat with that top foot still on the thigh, or the feet could be separated. Totally up to you. And then you'd slide down, back, and then we're going to keep rolling. So we're going to roll off to the other side. Press yourself up, or to the side waist, and roll. This should be kind of fun. So take your time rolling. And the idea here is that we're rolling around the hips rather than the hips rolling around us, or the torso. And the lower half of the body stays put. And we're just shifting weight back and forth. And as you can see, I've traveled quite a bit. So you may be going a little bit more slowly than I am, and that's fine. Maybe still just working on getting to this opposite side. Once you've made it through at least once or twice, we'll roll back onto the back, separate the legs, and you know that we're going to be shifting our weight and moving a little bit off of the mat. So if you need to, I'm just going to switch so I'm still facing all of you. And check the time. Perfect. And then switch sides. So we're letting the knees travel off left and right, starting with this windshield wiper. And then eventually For me, I'm now rolling to my right, taking the top foot and placing it on top. My left knee and pausing. The side is a little bit more tight. I can feel it a little bit more in my, right around my SI here. We start by allowing the weight of the body to drop down to the ground. Get nice and heavy. Use that gravity for you. Keep rolling. Slide the lower arm underneath so we're back at our hanging out at the beach pose. And relaxing. The head be nice and heavy. When you feel ready, slide back out. Take that arm, roll. And just remember for this first one, we're just rolling off to the second side and then rolling back. Start nice and slowly. Turn all the way this way. And then maybe start to come up as you roll back and forth. Like I said, this should feel pretty good. And if you're not making it all the way up, that's totally fine. Go with what works for you. Maybe it's just switching the legs back and forth. That was the best use of this mobility movement. And then wherever you are, maybe one or two more. And then we'll all recline back, unlace the legs, and just to release the low back, heel toe the feet as wide as the mat, let the knees come to touch. And take the arms down. So the last thing that we're going to do here is either with or without your strap. We're going to hug the knees in. And we're going to strap both soles of the feet and press the strap away. So you might need to bend and straighten the legs a couple of times. And we're going to stay for about 7 to 10 breaths, trying to press the legs into the strap, the feet into the strap, like you're trying to push the ceiling away. My feet are a little bit separated, they're not together. And rather than trying to squish so that the thighs are touching the chest, really we're looking for that 90-degree angle that we were using at the beginning of class. Maybe the thumbs to the hip creases so you can feel the 90 degrees, the low back pressing into the floor. If you have a little bend to the knees, that's fine. If you're finding that when you straighten the legs, your low back wants to curl up a little bit, then definitely bend the knees. So they're trying to maintain contact, the whole spine, sacrum, back of the head, shoulder blades, the whole back side of the body on the floor. Feel free to pedal the feet, drawing breath about 5. Keep reaching up. Two more breaths. That should be about 10. And then you can just let go of your strap. Maybe hug the knees into the chest if it's accessible and available. You could take the hands to the floor as you continue to reach the heels out. Reach, 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 reach. And slowly allow the feet to touch the floor. Once the heels hit, you're relaxing into your Shavasana. So I said that we were going to do a long relaxation, and here's where it begins. So start in your Shavasana pose, and then we're just going to engage parts of the body and release. So on your next inhale, we're going to inhale, lift the right arm, hug all the muscles to the bone, and squeeze, 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 and then just let the arm flop down. You'll have to be mindful, like myself, right next to this radiator. I need to move over a little bit as I inhale and lift the left arm. So bring the left arm up. Hold the breath in the body, hold and squeeze shoulder, squeeze the fist, and exhale. Just let the arm flop down. Right leg, inhale. Hover the right leg off of the floor, maybe flex the foot or point the foot so that you're squeezing all the way from the glute, the whole leg, hugging every muscle to the bone. The only thing that's activated. And exhale. The leg drop down. Left leg, squeeze. Lift, hold, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Right arm, right leg, lift, squeeze. Big inhale. Just remember to use just the right side of the body. And exhale. Left side of the body. Inhale. Hover. Squeeze. And exhale. We're going to go across the body. Right arm, left leg, lift. Opposite, squeeze. Just using the left leg and the right arm. Hold. Release. Left arm, right leg. Release. Exhale. Take a breath. We're going to do the whole body. So when you do the whole body, you're squinching the abdomen, the face, the tongue, the eyes, the jaw, the glutes, the back, everything. Let's begin. Inhale, squeeze. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and big exhale. Just let the body completely relax on the floor. And the tongue heavy than the mouth. The eyes nice and heavy in the socket. Allow your attention and awareness to explore the soundscape. I love this idea of envisioning yourself to be in the middle of a sphere so that you're listening for all the sounds around you. But your body is nice and still. Go ahead and just listen for all the sounds that are far away. And then start to draw your sound attention closer to your body. That you're just listening for the sound of your own breath. And then start to count back your breath from 12. So inhale, I am inhaling 12. Exhale, I am exhaling 12. I am inhaling 11. I am exhaling 11. Working yourself all the way down to 1. With each exhale, getting a little bit more relaxed, allowing another layer of tension to be exhaled out of the body. Enjoying the nice deep breath. And if you lose count, start back at 12. Allowing yourself to get heavier, more fluid, more grounded with each and every breath. You can release the counting and just enjoy complete relaxation. You are more than welcome to stay just as you are for as long as you would like. I'll be turning this off so you don't need to worry about turning off the video if you prefer to just stay as you are. Or if you're ready, you'll start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Remember, please stay relaxed on the floor if you're able to. And slowly, if you're needing to shift, then you'll shift off to the side and just take a breath curled up on your side. Having the eyes closed, if you prefer, go ahead and press yourself up. You can just let the arms and the hands drop onto the lap. Feel the weight of the body connected, tethered down to the ground. And we'll go ahead, if you're up, you'll take the hands together, vigorously rub the palms. You're generating quite a bit of heat. And once you have your hot little palms, you can put them over the eyes or hover them over the eyes. And just take a moment here to thank yourself for coming to a practice. Take a moment to enjoy the sensation of aliveness. Slide the hands down to heart center, enjoying this deep inhale and an audible exhale. Grateful for this breath that we breathe. Have a lovely rest of your day. Be as kind as you can be today and know that you are loved. And I will hopefully see some of you on Friday. There is class tomorrow as well, a shortened class. So if you're not getting the emails and you'd like some more information about the classes that are coming up, since it's summer, things are going to be shifting a little bit for the next month or so, and then who knows. So feel free to reach out to me individually. Thank you all. Have a great day.